Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. Alright, so I have some dates here in regards to the NBA that I think could be pretty noteworthy for all of us. Um, First of all, Christmas Day games have been announced. They got the Bucks and the Knicks, the Sixers and the Heat, Lakers and the Celtics, Mavericks and the Suns, and GS Dub and the champion Denver Nuggets. That's going to be your Christmas Day schedule. They don't have the times for those yet, subject to be switched around if something happens. If for some reason there's some massive injuries or something, I've seen them remove a team or two. I've seen that before, so I would not be surprised if something like that were to occur this season. Opening night, we have Lakers versus Denver and Phoenix versus GSW. So that is going to be, I know I wrote that down somewhere, starting on the 10/24. That is October 24th. And let's see, we also, for my Laker fans here, I wrote down our Laker preseason schedule since I thought I was going to make this a Laker video, but ended up adding more to what it is I intended. So you'll see how that all plays out. But I'll give that to you anyway for those of us who don't love the Lakers. You got your team on here too, of course, if you play us. The Lakers and the Golden State Warriors, October 7th at 5:30. I didn't write down where these games are, forgive me. I don't know if that information was even available to me. But nevertheless, the Lakers also have the Nets coming up on October 9th at 6 p.m. The Kings will play the Lakers on October 11th at 7 p.m. The Golden State Warriors will face us on October 13th at 7. The Bucks come in on October 15th at 5 p.m. And the Suns complete the Lakers preseason schedule on October 19th at 7 p.m. Also, some more stuff, more NBA information. Training camp does, in fact, open on October 3rd for most teams except for those who are playing outside of North America with their preseason games. They will start their training camp on the 27th of, yeah, 27th of September. I didn't write that down right, but it's definitely September. Also, season begins on 10/24. You already know that. Got some in-season tournament information to discuss, and I'll get to that in a minute. But I want to announce, of course, that the All-Star Game is on February 16th through the 18th, so it's the All-Star weekend. It's usually on the 16th through the 18th of February, honestly. That's how it normally goes. And the season will actually end on April 14th with, I don't believe any games scheduled as of yet for that, to our knowledge anyway. All right, so let's talk about this in-season tournament. And the reason why I want to talk about that is because I made a promise to you guys that I would get to it, and then some things happened in my life that took me away from what I was focused on. But now that I can kind of recalibrate in regards to that, I want to get to breaking down this in-season tournament as I understand it. It took a little while for me to watch Richard Jefferson. I had to watch it like 6 or 7 times for this brain to actually comprehend all there was. And when I was trying to read up on the in-season tournament, when they were breaking down a knockdown round, this brain once again did not understand those words. They were in English, but I didn't get them. So this is a situation where my boy T is trying to call, but I will answer that call later. I'll just let him know I'm doing NBA content. I'm sure he'll see it. Salute to my boy T. But this is what's going on with the in-season tournament. First of all, you got two conferences, as you already know, and this has to encompass all 30 of the teams. So the way the math works is you have 6 total teams. Each conference has 3 teams, and there's 5 teams in each group. See how that works? So you got 5 teams, 3 groups, twice over for your Eastern Conference and your Western Conference. Now this is what these groups will be. You got LAL, Phoenix, Grizzlies, Jazz, and Blazers making up West A. So that's what you got in the West Conference Group A. I'll say it again. Lakers, Phoenix, Grizzlies, Jazz, and Blazers. So that's your West A. In West B, Group 2, West B, you got Denver, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, and Houston. So again, that's Denver, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Houston, West B. Now in West C, you got Sacramento, Golden State, Minnesota, OKC, and the Spurs. And of course, since we're doing things consistently, Sacramento, Golden State, Minnesota, OKC, and the Spurs for Group C. I haven't thought about these groups. I just wrote them down, and now I'm relaying them to you. So breaking them down as to how these teams look, I haven't even done all that yet. So let's get into this Eastern Conference groups. We got the East A with Philadelphia, Cleveland, Atlanta, Indy Pistons. That's Philly, Cleveland, Atlanta, Indy Pistons. And Group B is going to be Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Charlotte, Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Charlotte. And last but not least, twice over, we'll say Group C is Boston, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, Orlando. Again, that's Boston, Brooklyn, Toronto, Chicago, and Orlando in Group C for the Eastern Conference. So, what you have there is what consists of the entire league participating in an in-season tournament that's going to take place between November 3rd and December 9th. And the finals of that tournament will be on 12/9 in Vegas at the T-Mobile Center. I believe it's the center. I think that's what they call it. And the semifinal will be 2 days before that on the 7th there as well. So this is how it kind of breaks down. You have each team playing a total of 4 games against each opponent in their group. All right? All 5 teams play 1 game against each opponent. 2 of them are at home and 2 on the road for you, so it's 4 games played. Whoever gets the best record of that moves on from within those groups to an elimination round. Or rather, a knockout round. That's just your second round. You'll have 6 total groups, 1 representative from each of those groups. You win your 4 games, you get the best record there, you represent your group. And then you get 2 more teams coming into that round. Whoever gets the second best record from each conference. So you get 1 second place guy coming in to round out your Elite 8. So that's 6 total groups, 1 from each. That comes out to be 6 plus the 2, 1 from each conference that happen to be your second overall best record of the groups total. They come in and then have an elimination game. So it's like an Elite 8, just like if you see an NCAA tournament. Now you just come down to 4 on each side. Whoever wins from that, winner go home. And then from there you got the Final 4. And it comes down to 2, of course, and that would be the end of that situation. So that's kind of how that breaks down. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out my own writing. The knockout round, Elite 8 consisting of first place teams. Yeah, I just reiterated the same thing I already said just to make sure I understood it. So that's pretty much how that breaks down, man. That is your in-season tournament. It's going to last an entire month. They're regular season games, but they just count as in-season tournament games. And just to reiterate something that I already said, I don't think I really fully comprehended my own self. It's 1 game against each opponent, right? So you're going to play everybody. 2 of the games are at home and 2 on the road. So you're gonna get that opportunity within your groups. And how that works is you won't see everybody everywhere, obviously. You know what I mean? Some teams you're only going to see on the road within this tournament. And so that's going to be kind of a weird thing. But they drew from a random pool based on the records of last year's team, even though these teams are different. So I don't know why they have to carry over in that way, but whatever. That's how they got it set up to where you find these groups put together the way they are. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing there, man. I think it could be pretty interesting. The Lakers always find themselves matched up with these particular teams. Phoenix, Grizzlies. You got the Jazz and their offense. That's really interesting. And the Blazers and the way they shot us out the gym last year in one particular game. And obviously now they have a new look situation with Scoot. What's going to happen with Dame, who knows? So that's going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out. I haven't aligned my thinking with whether or not John Morant will be involved in this tournament. As it pertains to will he be back by then in 25 games, I don't know. I can't tell by what I'm looking at. But between 11-3 and 12-9, season starting on 10-24, so I'd imagine he probably wouldn't be back. He probably wouldn't be back for that. Just making a guess there, I don't think so. Yeah, man. See if there's any interesting matchups here as I just glance over it. The Knicks and the Heat are about to play one another. That's interesting. Wizards, Charlotte, Bucks, Philly, Cleveland. So anyway, I got to do some brainstorming before I really want to break down these groups. But all in all, I think this could be an interesting insert to what it is that the NBA is about. It takes a game away from most of the teams. Anyone that doesn't win it gets a game removed from your schedule overall. So that's a good thing. You definitely like less basketball, and that's how this shakes out. So I'm curious about it. I think it's going to last for sure. A whole month of that is going to be interesting. But on Tuesdays, that's what I forgot to tell you guys. Tuesdays and Fridays is going to be tournament nights. So you can expect that will be the case throughout the month of November. Get the tournament nights on Tuesday and Friday. And so that's going to be kind of exciting to look forward to. And it's like right after the beginning of the season, as we've already stated. Literally within a week of the season. So a lot of what guys are going to do in regards to making a case for yourself for the All-Star nod and making a case for yourself in Rookie of the Year stuff, I think some of these guys are going to want to play very well in this in-season tournament. That's what it's really going to come down to, the competitive nature of some of these young players. You're going to see if coaches really want to play them in these tournaments, if it's going to affect how coaches use their roster. Because I know some of the stuff we were doing during last year, we didn't even know who our team was. So a lot of the rotations we had during this meat and potatoes of this part of the schedule was horrible. We weren't playing our best ball. So I don't know how that would fare out in an in-season tournament situation. You're essentially saying coaches better have their stuff together for displayed basketball, more or less. Competitive basketball so early in the season. I don't know what that means for players, for the spirit of competition. I don't know. There's a lot of these teams, they ain't going to even know themselves during this time. They're going to be trying to figure each other out. That's why I feel like this tournament probably would have been better if it was pushed forward to the dog days of the season. That way it would have made it so that team players would want to play games they otherwise would load manage. It would put some emphasis on games that most of everyone is tired and frustrated and don't even want to play. Fans just want the playoffs to start. This puts a competitive edge to the teams sooner and will make it so that they probably more likely want to play those games. I don't know. I think maybe they should study what it means to put the in-season tournament after the All-Star break in the future. Because I don't know if it makes more sense, but I do see some pros to spicing up some games that really do often suck from season to season to season. We're talking about late February, early March, April. Yeah, that's when you really want to spice up life after the All-Star break. Particularly 3 weeks after the All-Star break. March. That's when I would want to see a tournament, something to wake us up. But nevertheless, this will be how they do it, and I'm optimistic it won't be bad. I really am optimistic it won't be bad. I just think that you're going to have certain teams that are just not going to fare well in that tournament, and they will be gone. That's how that's going to go. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how coaches are going to handle it from a competitive standpoint, and how young players are going to approach it if they do get opportunities. So that's what I see there. I think the Lakers particularly, we're in an interesting group just as it pertains to the Jazz and the depth that they have. Phoenix and obviously the team that they have, that super team. That's gonna make for some very fun basketball games. And I hope we win the tournament, man. I hope that's really what it comes down to. I want to win the whole thing. Anytime there's something competitive, I want my team to be there at the end. And since we know Vegas is a Laker town, yeah, I'm pretty sure Vegas wants us there too. So that's pretty much where my head is, man. I just wanted to come back and give everybody an understanding of what I know to be some interesting games that may be coming up. Of course, get that Lakers schedule out there for all my Laker folks, the preseason that is. And then finally break down this in-season tournament that took a little while for me to understand, to be honest with you. But I got it, I think. I think the only part of it that I don't understand is 2 games at home and 2 on the road, 1 game against each opponent, and there's 5 teams each. That math it ain't quite adding up there for your boy. But other than that, I think I understand the in-season tournament pretty well, and look forward to seeing what these teams can do against one another. Hopefully playing competitive basketball sooner into the season. and getting the NBA Cup, the first ever NBA Cup, which I think is interesting. It's interesting to see them mimic soccer in that way, but it could be a good thing. So that's pretty much what I gotta say, man. My name is BDF44. I thank you all for watching.